Okay, now this is the proposed site for this little wood stove. It's right above the refrigerator actually. There's not too many places where a guy could put it, and even that is so sketchy. But I think that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to have to go ahead and, cut through here. And actually up here, that I believe is where there is a stud coming or going through here. So I have to push it, back, and I got to try and figure out where that is in order to be able to get that chimney in there. So this is going to be a tough little job actually. And the whole idea is to have very, very small pieces of wood in there. Get 1,000 BTU going or 1,500. Then we get anchored down, bolted down here. It'd be cool if it worked. I'd be pretty happy. You go back here and you have your little fire up there. The problem with it being so high is I'm worried about whether the heat's going to come down far enough. I'm going to have fans blowing around that thing so I don't burn the place down. Chimney's too short, not enough clearance, everything. I'm breaking every rule in the book to try and get this thing to work. But where there's a will, there's a way. I want to try it. There's no other place really for that thing to go that would be, without sacrificing too much else. So try and make it work there. Okay, well I managed to get the hole in the top there with a fair bit of effort. And that what you see there is actually the fiberglass. Where am I at? Okay, right there. So that's the roof right there. There's a bit of a ridge right here that I'm going to have to cut through. But yeah, there's probably about an R4 or 5 insulation in the roof there. And when you couple, with extra stuff, you might get an R5. So there is some insulation in there. But now the hard part is to actually cut the holes in here, because you can't get a drill in there. So that's really tough. And then on the bottom here, I've got a hole starting. And what I've been doing is using the drill with this. I had another hole type of device, but they were either too big or too small, like the fixed blades. So this one here is a variable one, and I've been working, the drill got warm, so I pulled off the drill. I'm just actually doing it by hand now, trying to work it in, trying to cut it now. So yeah, it's a bit of a deal here. So the bottom is almost all the way through, and then the top I'm just going to have to continue on doing by hand. But it's a bit of work. Getting there. Well, I got it through, but you know how it always is, right? There's always something. So here's a bunch of wires. Thankfully they have it loose enough that a guy can get them off to the side and get them out of the way. But yeah, glad we didn't wreck those. Okay, I decided what I'm going to do here is move these three over here. And really this is where the fiberglass roof, this part here, ends right there. I wanted to put one down here, but I think I'm going to be into metal, into the actual van chassis body metal. So I'm going up higher, and these other two are going to go like that, bang and bang. And what I have going here is there's actually a couple wires in behind this. I was able to cut this out with the scroll saw up to here, but here and here I have to just cut with this knife. It's not too thick, so it's almost pretty much through now. So I'll finish that up and pop these two in there and move my wires, and that'll be a problem solved. Alright, finally got it in here, and yeah, they're nice and tight. Just have to drill it in and pop everything back in there. We're going to have to insulate this whole section here, cover this up, and we're ready to go. All right, so I'm going to cut this metal up, and what I'm using is my Super Saw Cat. It has electric brake on it. It also, I'm using a very thin kerf blade, just a regular carbide blade. But when you use a carbide blade and you're cutting metal, you absolutely have to have, really you should have double eye protection, which I guess I got going here, but really guys should have a face shield as well. There you go. Okay, got it done here. We even got ourselves a kind of a distorted face. He's going, what? What's going on? Well, I finished up the shielding here, so I'll give you a little tour of what's going on. Okay, so it all got cut, so it came in even across here. Made a nice little round corner to go along with that. I wanted to keep this, so I decided to put this. I think a little scratch there. That's how the panel came, but yeah, so we got this all built out, and in behind here we have the 1 inch of fiberglass. There's our happy face. So I wanted to keep it very tight so that the heat coming off of it have very little area for it to be exposed to. And again, the top, same thing. So with all of this is going to leave very little room for that stove. That stove's going to be down only like that far, that shrouding anyhow. Less than what I wanted, but I don't know. Overall, that'll make me feel a lot more comfortable. Might have to do something on this side here. I'm not too sure. It's a fair ways away, but I was thinking of maybe putting, when I put solar in here, to put some equipment here. Well, here comes a moment of truth. I'm just about to drill in through the fiberglass roof there, and I basically measured it either way, put a mark in there. I'm going to do a pilot hole with this, pop it through the top, and from there I'm going to drill down from the top. I just have to have an accurate way of telling me where I'm going from, so that's why I have to do the hole from the bottom. So let's get at her. Well, I've got that cut, and then I filed the inside of that hole because I want to be able to salvage this plastic end piece. Hopefully it won't break when I pop it out. Okay, I've been going at it here a little bit and just showing you what I'm doing. Using the same tool I used on the cabinets to go through the fiberglass, slow but surely. Well, that's as far as I get with that device. I managed to break through over in here. So I'm going to go with the jigsaw now. Well, okay, look at that. We got our hole. So that's what they got going on here. They got actually wood reinforcement here, and then it's been fiberglassed on the bottom of it. I thought that was just all solid fiberglass, but just that section there, just the top part. But all right, see how the chimney fits now. I've got this actually fairly tight to the chimney, way tighter than what you're supposed to. If it's a house installation, you want 2 inches away from any wood framing and everything else. They were saying like 1 inch, even ½ inch, the different material I've read about this stuff. But here, I just thought I'd pull this out for you here. So that's what they have going there. Pretty interesting, huh? Okay, well here's a preliminary fit up here. We've got the little chimney going through, and right now I'm just kind of marking out the holes. I'm going to pre-drill all the holes, and then I'll be able to hand tighten screws in there to hold it down. And yeah, well, we'll see. Like, there's no space in there. Oh well. Plan is to put some fans probably in here someplace, blowing that way, trying to get that air out of there. But oh, look at that, eh? Yeah, this burn mark here you're probably wondering about. I actually was trying to burn off some of the stuff on the inside there and stained it. Probably that stainless steel is going to look like that all the way around anyhow once it gets hot. Oh well, I was bummed out with that. Well, here we go with our final install. It's all in now. Chimneys all the way through the roof and silicone on the top. Not the normal installation, but had to do what I had to do. And yeah, we're going to do a test burn here. I wanted to feel if there's any draft coming, and I can feel a draft pulling up. Now the big bugaboo is going to be like at 5 in the morning when it's really cold outside, the fire's died down to nothing, and is it going to backdraft, right? But that'll be the big test later on. But right now I'm just going to do a test fire, see how it goes. I believe it's going to be fine. And okay, when you look at it, there's nothing really coming out. It's all going up the chimney, and that is a 1-foot chimney. And by the time you add a couple extra, the top and the bottom piece that's in between there, probably 15 inches. But let's just close it up. Let's just go outside, check it out. Really no smoke. I kind of tilted it maybe a bit too much, that piece there on the top, that Chinese hat. I put it like that so if we're driving down the road that the rain doesn't get blown down into the chimney when you're going 60 miles an hour. Okay, well anyhow, there's nothing to see there. It's fairly clean burning. It's full on, right? So torque it down a bit. Okay. Yeah, so really, because of this installation and it's so tight and everything is just pushed beyond maximum, it's just going to be a stove, or you're going to have little fires in there. Nothing too major. And the challenge is going to be to try and make it so we have kind of a long burn time with it. So I'm not too sure exactly how it's going to work out. It'll be for future videos, but I've got plans and ideas. That's why I went ahead and stuck it in here like I did. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.